pizza doing down there? I've heard of stock cars, but this is ridiculous. But down here in the Southwest, it's anything goes. It's an American tradition as old as the car itself. Race what came off the factory floor, even if that was 10 years ago. Do it in the dirt and have a lot of fun, without a lot of cash. So chain up that bumper, weld your doors shut, find a furry mascot, but leave that engine alone. And watch out for that wall. Oh! So buckle up, because Wild Wheels is going Wild West, bumping and rubbing, eating dust and having a ball with Hornet Racing.
When the green flag drops, man, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Your heart's pounding so hard, your adrenaline's rushing, you're shaking, you got butterflies in your stomach, you're nervous, but yet you just can't wait for that flag to drop and just go. You know, you just wanna rub and race, man. That's all. You just want to get out there and just fly around the track.
Rubbing and racing, and maybe even winning. That's the name of the game. On any given Saturday night, in any given dirt track around America, you can bet there's scrappy drivers and wrinkled stock cars living this motto to its fullest. It's Roots Racing, NASCAR, before there was a NASCAR. This weekend, we're in the pit at the Pima Motorsports Park outside of Tucson. It's an 8-mile dirt oval carved into the earth, which this weekend hosts a showdown of a mini stock class of race cars known out here as Hornets. Onlookers stand at the edge of the pit, gazing down at the carnage in a sort of motorhead Roman holiday. And the tough little Hornet cars are only too willing to oblige.
When we get close to each other quite a bit, it's like I like to let the guy next to him know that I really do care about him.
Now that's Carl Briggs of Wolfpack Racing, and this is his grandson, known here at the track simply as Little Man. Not so little, is he? Anyway, Carl drives a 1985 Pontiac Grand Am with a Ford-Tech 4-cylinder with a 5-speed. It's the only car out there that'll spin with the limited slip out of the front differential, which works well for him in the corners. But that's not always enough. Check out a view from Carl's car during a practice run Friday. Now just wait till 25 cars are out here at one time. Right now, Carl's 5th in the points, but he's looking to move up with a strong performance this weekend.
I'm going to take first place. You watch.
So there, Carl's made his prediction. We'll see how it pans out. He'll have his work cut out for him against some of the young guns out here like Josh Burdick. Josh races alongside his dad in the only 2 Saabs on the track. Josh's car is an 87 900S that he picked up at a charity auction for $250. The Saabs are the heaviest and strongest cars on the track, and so far the old Swede's done well for young Josh. Right now he's leading in the points and winning races, sometimes at the expense of dear old Dad.
Josh kind of was down low and kind of get Dad a little bump, and I found the wall over there and it put me in a tailspin. I did a complete roll and ended up on top of that guy's car.
Well, Josh might be the points leader now, but there's some other 20-somethings breathing down his neck. One of them's kind of hard to miss in the rearview mirror, if you had a rearview mirror. Wild Billy Jensen drives the orange 93 Grand Am. It's a 5-speed with a 2.3-liter engine, which can beat its way around the track at a pretty good clip. It's all stock. Well, maybe it's lost a few parts along the way, but most of it's still there.
This car is pretty durable. I've taken several hits in the back, and it's still holding up. I mean, my bumper is a little cranked in, but it's still all together. I've got a little bit of rubbing here and there. This side's been mashed up a little bit. You can see I've been rubbing a lot of people. When I get out there, I just like to give it all I've got and just do the best that I can. Rubbing's racing, you know.
Billy loves his Hornet racing, and so does his latest recruit, his cousin, Chris Traver. Chris drives an old fuel-injected Honda CRX. Gutted and missing a quarter panel or two, it weighs in at just about 1,200 pounds, making it the lightest car on the track. The obvious advantage is the horsepower-to-weight ratio. The disadvantage? Bumping and grinding with the bigger cars.
For the first few times, you hear all that metal crunching, you feel like you're doing something wrong almost. When you get off, you're just shaking. It's just feel like you've been in a major car accident, but there's no police involved.
But Chris is built on a self-defense mechanism. After his old bumper was torn off, he Frankensteined together a sturdy hunk of steel box tube on the front. And right now, that little can opener's got some of the other drivers a little antsy. we'll see how it goes tonight. Now, one car that doesn't need any self-defense is that Volvo. Ron Hibbenham drives an old DL240 automatic. It's the only Volvo and the only rear-wheel drive car out here.
You can't describe it. You got to get out there and really bump with somebody to feel it. I can't put it to words. But it's a lot of fun.
Rounding out the top three in the points is Rick Hackney and his 91 Geostorm. And Storm's an appropriate name, considering he picked it up for free after a serious case of hail damage. Check out the roof. Now the fuzzy little fella guiding the way is Pikachu. Creatures are the trademark of a team of Hornets and tough trucks that come up together from Sierra Vista.
I think we have Tony the Tiger, Pikachu, I've got Marvin the Martian, we have Taz.
The Taz belongs to a 74 Pinto. Looks like 3 decades of Arizona suns got into the dash. Nice. Now, you don't see Pintos much anymore, and there's a reason.
You know the old Pintos in the 70s that used to blow up, right?
Yeah, we know. But here at the pit, you're not allowed to have your fuel tank after the drive line. So you just put it in the back seat. Or in Ron's case, the trunk works just fine. Now there's a few other safety requirements, and there's an inspection. Although from the looks of these cars, you wouldn't really think there'd be much to inspect. The battery's got to be held down, and obviously glass is a no-no.
There's some really good heavy-duty wiring I found in the dumpster out in the back of where I work.
No major weight or engine mods, plus you need a fire extinguisher, gloves, long-sleeve shirt, and of course, don't forget the horn. Now, after inspection, it's time to get set up for the main event. The track's been watered, scraped, and it's ready to go. Tonight, there will be a series of 10-lap qualifiers, followed by a last chance, a B main, and finally a full 20-lap main event. But before we get to the racing, we've got something you've probably never seen before.
I got some quads gonna joust. A couple guys gonna knock each other off.
Did he say joust? Yeah, I thought he did. I guess the horses are replaced by quads. Ah, the Wild West. Looking down from atop his royal hay bale, King J commences the festivities in a Renaissance festival gone crazy.
Well, this has gone crazy anyway. I don't know about the Renaissance Festival, but we'll see.
Alas, a duel between gallant Sir Squiggy and the Pink Knight. Come hither and to battle, brave men of the pit. Is it even so? A double death? A legend is born in the kingdom of Jay. Now what? By your leave, to battle, tarry not, the hornets await. 'Tis done. The beslubbering Pink Knight is punished for his foul deeds. Gallant Sir Wrongway awaits Sir Squiggy anon. But before this clash of toad-spotted titans, it's time for some Hornet heats. First heat up, we've got Sierra Vista Chris and his Marvin the Martian mobile. We've also got Wild Bill in the Orange Grand Am, who's matching up pretty well with another pit warrior, number 19, Paul Rios, in his 81 Civic. Like most of the other cars out here, the old Honda's seen better days.
I'm here to have fun, and I hardly ever finish a race. Truthfully, I did the wall, a couple times, and the wall. So after that wall incident, you start staying away from it.
First heat, the track's still a little slick, but Paul manages to stay off of the wall. But a green Celica gets squirrely on the outside, and Billy's fighting through a few problems of his own. The heavy Saabs handled the mud a little better.
It's real snotty out there on the track. It was real slick, but it'll dry up. It'll come around to us.
The next heat will feature 2 Swedes in the pit, Josh's Saab and Dan the Man's old Volvo. Both of them put in pretty good runs. But then, whoa, the Saab's doing some off-road. Now, if you don't think those tires are tough, just ask Josh.
I thought I was going like rolling or something, because my tires, I got sideways so bad, and my tires, they didn't want to slide anymore, and they shot me straight into those tires.
By the third heat, the track's drying out and getting faster, but definitely still wet enough for some squirrely running. Carl Griggs in his number 88 car is holding true to his prediction, running a solid first in the qualifier and setting himself up for pole position in the A main. Now, getting to the A main could be tough for Rick and his Pikachu. He'll start his qualifier near the back of the pack. But he won't stay there for long. Okay, move along, that's right. Now Pikachu's moved all the way up to Dan the Man. Wild racing if I've ever seen it. 2 cars that could hardly be more different, locked in big-time battle. Oh!
Rubbing door to door.
Yeah, you were.
I got some mean donuts on my car, right over the numbers.
And some of those donuts might have come from Rick and his innocent-looking Pikachu Express.
A couple guys in front of me, I had to bump my way through them, but we made it. Track's getting real rough back there in the back corner. It's got some pretty good whoopty bumps back there.
Those whoopty bumps in the corner got worse as the night wore on. By the end of the qualifiers, it was something all the drivers took into account as they closed on turn 2. This was a particular problem for guys who drive the lighter cars, like Chris Traver and his little CRX. But whoopty bumps and imperfections are part of the beauty of dirt track racing.
It's kind of chaos out there, so the holes open and close so fast. It's no hesitation, otherwise you'll never make it.
Finally, the heats are up. One more race. The B main will decide the last few slots for the main event. Wild Bill's fired up and ready to roll. Last week, he took second place in the main event. This week, he's gunning for the checkered flag. But first, he's got to get through this race.
I'm gonna be tearing them up. Give it all I got. I'm gonna win this bad boy. Making it to the A main.
But he'll have Josh's dad to contend with. Those Saabs have already proven to be pretty tough customers.
Hopefully my dad does good.
Now, Josh and Dan aren't the only father-son combination. Bud and Gerald DeMay have been racing together for years. You can't miss them here at the pit. They use a '59 Chevy Viking to haul the Hornets back and forth, and everything matches. The paint left over from the truck went into the Hornets. During the B main qualifier, old Bud's starting in 7th place, so he'll need to pass one car if he wants to get to the main event, and one of those cars might be his son, Gerald. But first, he's going to bear down on a Celica. Hey, move him along. In fact, Bud's not finished thinning the herd. The next victim will be his own son. Now, this is just blatant. Pushed into the pits by dear old Dad. And tomorrow's Father's Day. Hey, family might be family, but racing's racing.
We're out there having a ball. That's what it's all about. Of course, you got some crybabies like this guy, you know.
I would have been the man for sure.
Bud wasn't the only one to qualify for the main event. Young Billy battled back from a slow first qualifier with an impressive finish.
I'm in the A. I told you I was going to the A. Yeah.
But as for poor Ron and his Volvo, big time carnage.
It blowed up, man. Oil all over the hood on the last lap.
It's gonna be a showdown. 28 cars going for it in a 20-lap blowout. But first, some unfinished business in the King's Pit. Sir Wrongway and Sir Squiggy, gallant Knights of Pima, a duel for the King's highest honor, for at least 40 bucks. A chivalrous affair indeed. Ho! Sir Squiggy, slayer of the Pink Knight, makes Sir Wrongway pay for his idle-headed cowardice. Next it is Sir Squiggy who bites the hay bale. 'Tis well, a best out of 3. And in the final duel, alas, Sir Wrongway gets wobbly, but ill-nurtured Sir Squiggy lets go his cursed lance. Gallant Sir Wrongway wins on a technicality. Boy, what's next in quad jousting? Instant replay? Okay, here we go. Finally, the main event. Sierra Vista Chris and his Marvin the Martian mobile have pole position on the inside. Chris Travers in the second row on the outside next to Carl in his Wolfpack Racing number 88 car. And Wild Billy is way back in 7th. Off the bat, Carl's 88 car shoots to the inside and overtakes Marvin the Martian for the lead. Chris Travers' 5 car and Josh's Saab escape the wild first few laps unscathed. But Wild Bill manages to get in a little rubbin' racing. Okay, maybe more than a little. A few more cars will pass him. Now he's near the end of the pack. But don't count him out yet. That little Grand Am recovers fast, and he's got 18 laps to make it up. Plus, there's certain to be more carnage at the head of the pack to shake things up. And again tonight, Paul Rios would be the unwilling recipient. This time, it wouldn't be the wall that would spell the end of Paul. This is the view from Chris Travers' little CRX. Everything was fine, until they got into those old whoopty bumps in turn 2. Uh-oh, not enough real estate. Oh, that's ugly. I think Chris's can opener just opened up Paul's back tire. But this wouldn't be the last of the carnage. The bumping and grinding would go on. At one point, 2 cars rolled at the same time. Oh, man.
You gotta be a little nuts to do this. You really have to be. It's more for fun than for anything. And where else can you go on a Saturday night with your family and
beat the crap out of each other. And not get in trouble for it.
Well, if you're gonna wreck, you might as well do it right. And if it still drives, then hey, all the better. With all the carnage thinning the herd, Billy's managed to work his way back up and remind people where he is along the way. Pretty soon he's overtaking the Pizza Hut delivery car, and the front of the pack's in sight. But Carl Griggs is still in charge. Not far behind, Josh and Chris are fully engaged, trading places, third and fourth. But hold on, here comes Wild Billy. He overtakes Marvin the Martian. Then, while Josh and Chris are locked in battle, Wild Bill sneaks up on the inside and takes sole possession of third place, a spot he'd hold for the rest of his wild Saturday night in the desert. Just as he predicted on Friday, Carl Griggs takes the big trophy, with Little Man looking on proudly. Billy, Chris, and Josh took third, fourth, and fifth, respectively. Now, Chris's can opener on the front is the only sore point, and as is prone to happen on any dirt track, tempers are flaring. But in the end, it's all good, because here in the pit, it's nothing personal. It's only racing. Anyway, we're pretty sure can openers will be outlawed before the next race, and those pesky whoop-de-bumps will probably get smoothed down a bit, but not too smooth, or it wouldn't be dirt track racing.
The asphalt track compared to this dirt track and these Hornet cars, no comparison. The excitement is just unreal. I won't go back to the asphalt track. Sorry, NASCAR, I like watching you, but this is a blast.